I seen lots of videos on the same topic, but they are not telling how you can create the plugin. They are just creating plugins and copy pasting the code and releasing it, and at the end you still don't know how to create a plugin. So that's why I am here. I will tell you head to toe what are the stuff you need to do for creating and releasing the plugin in pub.dev. So okay, the first thing you need to do is open your computer or a laptop, whatever you have, and open your VS Code. And in the desktop, create a folder and give it a name, let's say my plugin, and open this folder in the VS Code. So first thing we will do is create our project. So we need to type flutter create minus minus template equal to package. Then we need to type our package name, let's say boxing images, press enter, and it's gonna create the project. Alright, so after project is created, open this folder, and this is our plugin. So this is our plugin. Now drag and drop this folder inside the VS Code. Okay, now we are inside our plugin, so we can close this. Okay, before starting coding, you need to know about some files. We will start from bottom. So first file we have is readme.md. In this file you need to describe your package. For example, as you can see this plugin, and here you can see all the example features, how user can use it. So all these stuffs come from readme file. Okay, so we will update this. Now second file we have is pubspec.yaml. We all know about it. Here at the top we have name. This is our plugin name. Plugin name is the same that we are seeing over here. Then we have this description. Okay, so we need to update our description, and description will appear over here like this. When user search the plugins, then description appear over here. Okay, now after that we have the version. So version, we all know, when user go to the plugins, here you can see the version. So this is the same version that we have over here. In the home page we need to update our GitHub page. Okay, so home page, as you can see over here, we have this GitHub repositories. So in the home page we just need to give a link of our GitHub repository page. After that we have environment, all the stuff, we don't need to care about that, and all the other stuff you already know. After that, go to license. Here in the license we need to add a license. So as you can see, license appear over here. User can go to and see license. That's easy. After that we have this change log. So when we release different version of our plugin, then we need to describe what are the things we added in this plugin. For example, if I go to this plugin here in the change log, and as you can see here we have different version and what are the things that added. Okay, so it's gonna show over here. After this file we have the main stuff in the lib. So this is our main file. Okay, now we will start coding for our plugin. So we will create a plugin that shows boxing images. Okay, here remove this code. Okay, now we need to create a stateful class. So type stf, shortcut for creating stateful class, press enter. Then type class name, let's say boxing images, and go to quick fix, import material.dart package. Okay, now we need images, and we will use these URLs, and you can find them in the description. So copy all these URLs here, create a field list of string, let's say image URLs equal to list, and then paste all the URL inside this list. You need to add this quotation mark. Now here we need to make it as a string, same, paste it over here, then add comma like this. Okay, now after adding the URLs, save it. Okay, now in the build, in the container, type child image.network, and for the URL, copy this image URL, paste it over here, dot first. Okay, so for testing we are showing only one image for now, so that's it. Now we will test our plugin. So for testing, we need to create a new Flutter project. So for that, open the terminal and type Flutter create example, press enter. So as you can see, we got this example folder and inside it we have our Flutter project. Now let's run this app. So open, start your emulator, and in the terminal type cd example, press enter, then type Flutter run. Okay, once your app is up and running, then inside the example, go to the lib in the main, and here we have our example app, and in the main we have this dummy code that we all know, and we will remove this home page. So after this, my home page from here to end, and then remove these comments, this one also, and remove this. Now let's create a stateful class home page, and here we will give our home page like this. Okay, now in the home page, instead of returning container, we will return scaffold, and we will give a app bar title text. In the text we can say plugin example, save it, and now reload the app, and as you can see our UI is updated. Okay, now we will use this boxing plugin inside our app. So for that, first we need to import this plugin. So go to this pub.dev file and copy this plugin name boxing images. Now go to this example folder and inside this pub.dev file, and here scroll down. After this Cupertino icons, paste the plugin name, add colon. Our plugin is not live, so we need to give our local path. So after this colon, type enter, space, then path, colon, space, dot. Now save it, and it's gonna import the plugin. And now if you go to the main, and here in the scaffold we will add a body. Okay, now in the body we need to call our plugin. So type boxing images. So whatever your class name is, so as if you go here in the lib, you can see our class name is boxing images. So here in the main, if we type boxing images, then it's gonna show this, and it's gonna auto import the package. So we can say boxing images, then bracket, save it, and it's automatically imported this package, so never mind that. Save it, reload the app, and as you can see we got this image. So we just called our plugin and we got this image. That's good. Now go to the plugin, and here now I will tell you how you can import other plugins inside your plugin. So in the future when you're creating a real plugin, then you might need to import some other plugins. So in our case we will use this plugin for showing sliding image. Okay, so I will add a link in description. Copy this, go to the code, and here in your plugin pub.spec.yaml file, in the dependency after this Flutter, press enter and paste the plugin, save it, and that's it. Same way you can import multiple plugins. Now go to the lib in the boxing images. Here in the container, instead of returning one image, we will return multiple images. Remove this, then type carousel slider dot builder, and now let me close this. Okay, now let's remove all this. Okay, the first thing we need to give is item count. For item count, copy these image URLs, paste it over here, dot length. Then we have item builder, and inside it we have context, then we have index, then we have page view index, and after that add a curly bracket, and inside it we need to return, let's say, container for now. Okay, so it is giving error here for this comma, remove it. After this we need to give one more parameter, options. So type options, carousel options, and inside it type autoplay, set it to true and save it. Okay, now here in the builder, instead of returning a container, we will return our image. So in the container type child image.network and copy these image URLs, paste it over here, dot element at index. Okay, now save it, and now if I reload the app, now as you can see in our app we can see our image slider and it is showing image one by one. Okay, now our plugin is done, and whenever someone use this plugin, then it's gonna show this image slider. Okay, so this is how you can create a plugin and test it using an example app, and the same way you can create your own plugin. So process is same, and let me know in the comments what are the new plugins you are creating, and maybe in the future we can work together and create some cool stuff. Okay, so after creating the plugin we need to release it. Close this app. So first thing, obviously you need to check the code. Code is good. You need to check your example code. Example code is good. Okay, so after checking the example code and your plugin code, okay, now let's close all these files. Close this example, close this lib. Okay, now go to pub.spec.yaml file, and here, okay, so first thing we need to do is check our plugin name. So copy this plugin name, go to pub.dev and search the plugin name. So plugin name must be unique. As you can see, our boxing images is a unique name. No one have plugin with the same name, so we can use this name. Now after the name, let's update our description. Flutter widget for boxing images, and after that check your version. Okay, now we need to create a GitHub repository. So go to GitHub and log into your account. If you don't have one, then create one, and then click on this plus icon, new repository, and for the repository name we can say our plugin name. So copy this plugin name, paste it over here, and in the description we can say this description, copy it, paste it over here, select public, then click on create repository, and you need to install this git. So we can use git command for pushing our project in GitHub. Okay, so you simply download this and install it. After that, copy this git init, go back to the code. In the terminal type cd space dot dot, press enter. After this, paste the code, git init, press enter, and after this type git add space dot, press enter. Then we need to copy this git commit, copy it, paste it over here, press enter. Then copy this line, git branch, paste it over here, press enter. Then it's gonna switch you to the main branch, and now we need to add our GitHub repository URL. So copy this line and in the terminal paste it, press enter. After this we just need to type git push -u origin main, copy it, paste in the terminal, press enter, and it's gonna push all the code. And then go to GitHub repository and reload it, and as you can see we got all the code. Okay, now we need URL, so we can add over here in the home page. So in the GitHub repository, click on code, copy this URL, go back to the code and paste it over here like this, save it. Okay, so that's all we need to do inside our pubspec.yaml file. You need to check your name, description, version, and home page. Okay, and after updating all this, let's update our change log. And this is our version 1, so we don't need to add anything. And here in the describe we can say initial release. After that, let's update our license. Now we need to add a license file. I will show you a trick. Go to GitHub and here click on add file, create a new file. Now for the file name, type license in all caps. Then here you can see choose a license template, click on it, and here select JNU General Public License, select it, and you can see all this stuff. Okay, now click on review and submit. So we got the license. Now click on commit changes. Okay, go back to the repository. Now we have this license file. Go to this file and copy all this code. Click here, copy code. Go back here and remove this, paste it over here, and we got our license. Save it. Now go to readme.md file, and now we will update our readme file. And for updating it, we have one more trick. Go to GitHub, go back to the GitHub repository, and here you can see we have this readme file already. You can click on edit. Okay, and then search a random plugin, and if you like its readme page, it is looking good, then go to its GitHub repository, and here go to this readme file, then click on this raw button and copy all this code, and go back to your GitHub repository, select all the code and paste the copy code. Now you can see the preview. Let's update one by one. First thing, we will update our package name. So go to edit, copy the package name, go to pubspec.yaml, copy the package name, and here instead of saying text scroll, we will say boxing image. Let's see the preview. Okay, so text is updated. Now we don't need this, we will remove it, remove this. Then we need to add description, copy the description and paste it over here. See the preview. Okay, so description updated. Now let's update our features also. Go to edit, remove this, and here we can say showing boxing images or whatever your feature is. Go to preview. Okay, so feature is done. Now in the get started, to use this plugin, add text code. Instead of say, we will say boxing images. Okay, our package name. So text scroll, remove it, copy this boxing image, paste it over here, go to preview. Okay, to use this package, add boxing images as a dependency in your pubspec.yaml. Okay, after this, in the usage, okay, now in the usage we need to give an example. So let's go to our example in the lib, in the main. So for using our plugin, we just need to call our plugin. So we can simply copy this, go to the code, now edit, go to edit, here in the usage, remove this and paste the boxing image. So we just need to call these boxing images and it's gonna show all the boxing images, and we don't need this, so we can remove it. Go to edit, custom settings, remove it. Okay, now let's go to preview, and we don't need this C also, so let's remove it. Okay, so this is our readme, And the same way you can create any readme file. You just need to search a plugin that readme file you like. So our readme file is done. Now click on commit changes and our readme file is complete. Now let's copy the code. So click on edit and copy this code. Go back to project, scroll down here in the readme file, select all, paste the copy code, save it. Okay, so our readme file also done. So all the things that we need to update and check are done. Okay, now we will publish our app. So type flutter pub publish. So we will run our publish command in dry mode to see that we don't have any error. So after this, type minus minus dry minus run and then press enter. And as you can see, it is showing error. Our project is 335 MB of size and we can only host smaller than 100 MB. Okay, so for fixing this error, we just need to delete our build that is inside our example. So delete this build and then publish it again. Okay, now we have one more warning. Okay, so for fixing that error, our project is connected with GitHub and we have some GitHub files and we can't publish that GitHub files in our pub.dev. So open your project and here, and as you can see, we have some hidden files. We have this git and all these other files. So we need to remove this git and every other file you have named git, you need to remove it. Okay, so just remove it and it's gonna remove the GitHub from this project. Okay, now we need to close this VS Code and open it again. Now drag and drop this folder inside the VS Code. Okay, now we are all good. Here in the terminal, let's try it again. Type flutter pub publish minus minus dry minus run, press enter. Okay, so as you can see, we have 0 warning. That means we can publish our package. Now simply type flutter pub publish and remove this dry run, press enter. Okay, so as you can see, publish is forever, package cannot be unpublished, as we all know. And do you want to publish this plugin and the version, type Y, then press enter. Okay, and then you can see it's giving us a URL for authorization. So copy this URL and go to your web browser, open it, and here select your account that you want to use for publishing the package. Okay, now as you can see, pub authorized successful. Now go back and as you can see, our authorization is successful and plugin is also updated and we have this URL. Let's copy this URL, go to your web browser, open a new tab, paste the URL, press enter, and here you go. And here as you can see, our plugin is published, boxing images version 1. Here is our readme, change log, here is our example. Okay, and version, installation, score, other stuff, pub point, popularity gonna update once this analysis is complete. Okay, and here we have this GitHub repository URL, the same URL that we gave. That's good. License we have and all the stuff. Okay, so that's good. It takes about 1 or 2 days for completing the analysis for your plugin, and once it's complete, then it's gonna show you something like this, admin and other stuff. Here your likes, pub point and popularity. Okay, and if you like this plugin, then it's gonna increase your pub point and popularity, so like this plugin. Okay, now the most important thing, if you are facing difficulties on adding payment in your Flutter app or web app, then you don't need to worry, because I have these 3 courses in my website. And here you can learn head to toe all about payments, subscription, in-app purchase, and Stripe in your Flutter app and Flutter web app. Okay, so as a developer you need to learn things fast, because already there are many people who know about this stuff, and you don't want to be left alone. So go to this gappsolution.com, and you can learn about payment, subscription, purchases, everything, head to toe, everything from scratch.